Good morning and welcome to day 50 of my 77-day challenge. Boy, I can't believe that I've gone this far and I only have 27 more days to go before I fulfill the 77-day challenge. And just a quick recap for those who are just coming in today and don't know what my 77-day challenge is. 50 days ago, I challenged myself to get up early in the morning, which is very difficult for me because I'm a night person. Get up early in the morning, get dressed, and head out. Go for a brisk walk up the hill. And don't have breakfast first, no coffee, and especially no checking of cell phone messages or email, which was the hardest actually. It still is the hardest. And I've gone for 50 days. A few days into my first week, I started adding a food for thought or a quote just to kind of inspire me. And so this is where we are now, I think, on about for the 45th day where I've been putting this food for thoughts. Today's food for thought comes from Gordon Eadie. He has often been quoted by Stephen Covey for this particular quote, and it is, if you don't stand for anything, or sorry, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. It's Covey's way and Gordon's way of saying that when you believe in something, you need to stand for it. You need to have the courage of your convictions. You can't say, okay, I support this, I believe this, but then you don't do anything about it. You just let your principles get walked over. And that is actually really hard. In history, we have so many great men and women who stood for their convictions and were ready to actually, worst scenario, to die for it. Best person I think comes to mind is Gandhi. He stood up for his convictions. He believed that his country should be free, and he was willing to die for it. But okay, it's too early in the morning to go into really heavy thoughts about historical figures. So let me share something more personal. I believe in fairness. I believe in upholding the principle of everybody should have an equal opportunity. And Toastmasters is my favorite organization because it also offers, it supports that, and in the sense of anyone who wants to join a club, as long as they, oh gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself, sorry. So anyway, I started a club in our small rural area, and we were very welcoming. We accepted anyone because we're a small rural community, all very friendly. We know each other. And then 2 years ago, somebody I'd met in a prison club moved to our community, and I knew him from the prison club. He had advanced he had achieved his, for non-Toastmasters, this is going to be jargon, but anyway, for Toastmasters, he had achieved his Advanced Communicator Silver, and he was very excited. He wanted to start working on his next level, which would be Advanced Communicator Gold. And I said, wonderful, come and join our club. So he signed up, and I scheduled him for his first speech. And his first speech was where he shared that he was an ex-convict, and he was out, he had served his time, and he was excited to start getting integrated into society. And imagine my surprise when a couple of other officers said to me later on, we don't want him. We don't want him in the club. And I'm like, but we are an open club. We are a community club. We accept anyone. And this person has served his time, and he you know, we can help him integrate back into the community, into society. And so we had this very dramatic, oh God, no. So make a long story short, I made it clear that we need to support the principles of Toastmasters and in fairness. He has not done anything wrong to us. He has paid for his membership dues, and you know, we need to give him a chance. But during the officer vote, we met in a restaurant, and we had the officer vote. It was 3 versus 2, and I had said actually before that if we don't walk our talk as far as our principles and Toastmasters, our values, then I cannot stay in this club. And anyway, they voted not to have him, so I stood up with another officer, and we left that restaurant, and we left the room, and I sat outside for almost an hour just thinking, what have I done? I started this club. I love this club, and this is a small rural community. The only other club in that community had about the same people there. So I love Toastmasters, so it was like it's my peak of the week to go to a meeting. And so for weeks I would sit at home or try to find something else to do when it was time for a Toastmasters meeting. There were even times when I'd drive to the meeting area, kind of drive and say, oh, I'll just go. And then I realized, no, I caved if I did that. I said I would not, because this was my principle, and so I did not. And it's funny. It sounds very trivial compared to big things like people offering their lives to support their principles. But for me, that was really painful. But I stuck by it. I guess I believed strongly enough in my principles that I couldn't just be with a group that said, yeah, we welcome everyone, and then, oh no, except you, you're an ex-convict. So anyway, wow, I had promised myself I was going to be brief and concise this morning, but I guess that didn't work. I shouldn't have touched on something that was too personal. Anyway, food for thought for the day is, if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. So think about it. Think about what you stand for. What are your principles, and what are you prepared to do to support or to stand by those principles? Great thought. Especially it's a beautiful Saturday weekend, and something for you to reflect on. I will reflect on that. So good morning, my friends. Good afternoon, good evening, and I will see you tomorrow.